As soon as I saw this material, I went batty for it. And why not? It's fangtastic! Here's a close-up of the material. It was a thrift store find. I'm thinking of making this dress based off of a summer dress that I have that I find really very flattering. It has a waistband that is made of shirring, and then 2 rectangles that come up to make the body, and then a skirt added on at the bottom. Very simple, but it does mean I'm going to be learning how to do shirring, and I like that. I like being able to learn new skills or try different things. First thing I did was to measure from where I want the waistband to be up over my shoulders, down the other side to that same point along my back. Figured out what that measurement was, then cut the length of the material, cut it in half to have 2 panels, right side, left side. For the part that's next to the neck, I just folded this over twice and stitched it. Time to experiment with shirring. I've never done this before, but I have watched a couple of tutorials, so I'm ready to experiment. One thing they all say is to hand wind the bobbin, so I have my spool of elastic thread. It stretches, super stretchy. Apparently I have to be careful not to put any stretch into this because that will affect how the shirring works. And I'm using my little mini teacup as a yarn bowl of sorts. Well, my bobbin is now fairly full. Time to go put this into my bobbin case and give this a try on the sewing machine. So I am on my longest straight stitch. Also recommended, this is so scary, I don't normally tamper with these, adjusting the tension. I have my test piece of fabric. It is 10 inches long. I'm going to do a bunch of shirring lines and see how much this scrunches up, and if it works. If not, I'm going to try something else. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that worked. It definitely looks how I want it to look. When I stretch it out here, you can see my lines are not perfectly straight, but once they're cinched in, it's not too bad. And we went from 10 inches to, we are under 5, basically 5. Fabulous. Okay. All right. So that means, oh, I gotta do math. Math brain, math brain. I need my waistband. The material that I start out with needs to be double, plus seam allowance, what my waist is. I'm sorry, this is so cool. Here is my waistband ready for shearing. This is the same material that I used for the Bill Cipher dress, and it likes to shred. So on the top part of it, I did a narrow little hem, just folded it under a couple of times. On the other side, I did a bigger one. This will keep it from fraying. This one I did bigger because that's where I want to attach the skirt, so there's more material to attach to. On the ends, because I didn't have a lot of extra room, I just used pinking shears to clip the edges. That'll prevent fraying. I have yellow thread in my machine and the elastic in the bobbin. Oh, wish me luck! And here we go. This reminds me of sewing skating costumes on my great-grandmother's Singer featherweight. It only went forwards and backwards. There was no zigzag. So we had to stretch the material so that Mum could sew it. So much stretching. Well, my lines are far from even, but it's super cool looking. Ha-ha! Whew! And I am finishing that there. Wow. Shearing is hard work. I have completely lost count the number of times that I ran out of bobbin thread. It's certainly not perfect, but it is very interesting. I think time to pin the top to this and see how it works. Next, I'm going to sew together the sheared piece to create the waistband. I have pinned the waistband to the top. It looks okay-ish. Now I'm going to run this through the sewing machine. I'm going to have to stretch the waistband to make sure that the bat material is laying flat. There's the other side seam. I'm halfway around. It's turning into a thing! It might actually be working. I'm still a little surprised by this. Not bad. I cut my skirt panels, and I have enough material left over to not only make pockets, but a matching mask, because, you know, pandemic. Time for pockets. Here is my pocket that I've cut out and mostly stitched up, leaving, obviously, opening for hand to go in. I know I want the pocket opening to be about 6 inches down from the top. This is where I'm going to pin the pocket in. Now I'm going to stitch up most of my side seam. I'm starting at the bottom. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but this is what's going to be easiest for me with where my pocket is. Alright, I am at my pocket. If I were to keep sewing, I wouldn't be able to put my hand in the pocket. So I'm going to get the one side out of the way. Now, I can sew one side of the pocket to the skirt. So there's half of the pocket attached to one half of the skirt. Now I need to pin this half of the pocket to this side of the skirt. As I'm sewing this seam, I need to make sure that my pocket doesn't get stuck in the middle here. I really do want to make sure that there's only these two layers of fabric that I want sewn together. Now that the pocket is in, I can finish pinning this together and sewing it. It has pockets now. Skirt is attached. I put them right sides together, spaced them out, matched up front and back, the two side points, and then gathered along. When I sewed it, I definitely had to get the stretch in there. To tie in the yellow waistband, I have added yellow bias tape as a cuff for the sleeve. I got out the iron, pressed my seams open, and then pressed down the hem. And I folded it over twice, that way there's no raw edge that can fray. Time to sew it. Oh, heavens. I forgot to change thread color. Okay, I have ripped out the white thread, and now I have black thread. Sewing the hem, take 2. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click that subscribe button. Until next time, have fun and be creative. What's a bat's favorite pickup line? Hey, you want to hang around? Why did the vampire need mouthwash? Because he had bat breath. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Am I making a movie? I have, focus, focus. Well, this is different. I don't think I've ever done this before. I ran out of thread on my spool. Aha! Don't kick the tripod, Carrie.